Maximize. Someone says, Biko, update your weather app. My brother degrees Guinea partly cloudy. It says that now, sunshine, by 1 p.m., by 2 p.m., there will be sun. By 3 p.m., it say partly cloudy conditions expected at 3 p.m. Today's temperature range is from 23 to 31 degrees, you know, that kind of thing. Then it's also telling me that 4 p.m. like this, there will be sun. 5 p.m., there will be sun. You know, then the sun will set at 6:13 p.m. It's telling me that tomorrow now there will be downpour. Man, it's updated. It's not, it's just River State for you. I mean, that's just it, you know. And that brings us to, I wish we could have that chit chat about, you see all these people that hold rain. No one wants to have some very serious events. They say they are holding rain. We'll talk about them. Maybe today. If not today, probably tomorrow. That being said, I didn't come here to talk about weather and duvets and laundries. We're going to talk personal hygiene for children today. Are parents paying attention to the hygiene of their children? And do schools still do routine hygiene check on the students as it used to be years ago? My name is Denise Dennis Worlu, and as always, I'm excited to have you with me on the sunny side today. 1 o'clock, trending stories, and thereafter, conversation continues. Then we have a recorded program coming up 1 o'clock, 1:30 to 2 p.m., the All On Energy program. The final hour is Mind, Body and Soul. I'll be having Dr. Hamilton Operum, a member of the Diabetes Association of Nigeria and River State, and we're going to talk access to diabetes care. We'll still go about the types of diabetes, the causes, and the treatments that are available. And then it will be a wrap on the sunny side. 3 p.m. we'll have Rivers Today, and thereafter, Hat Facts with Kalada Karu Bat. But I'd like to encourage you to always keep your dial locked at 92.3 Nigeria Info FM. So we're going to break, and when we come back, the conversation starts in full. What did I see? Okay, someone says, good morning, D. I have received the money. Thank you, Nigeria Info, for the huge something. For that huge something, I was lifted. Oh, you're most welcome. I think this was our winner for last week Friday's TGIF hour and the cash giveaway. Precious. Congratulations to you, and thank you for being a part of. How did you even become the winner? Oh yes, I told you to tell me onion is classified as what, and he got the answer correctly. He said it's classified as a vegetable. I know a lot of you probably did not know that. But that being said, that break, we come back, conversation started. For remember, you can join on X at Nigeria Info PH, and Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. On Instagram and Threads, it's at Nigeria Info FM _PH. Call any of the numbers 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007.
It's natural to have different ideologies. We tend
Sunny Side, your number one station for Talk 90.3 Nigeria Info FM. Good afternoon to you once again. Now the conversation officially starts. Hold on. I'm finding it difficult to hear myself very, very well. Something is not right. Okay, I think this works. Okay, so we're going to talk hygiene. But this time, the hygiene is focused on children. Personal hygiene. You see, we all need to keep clean to avoid harmful germs and avoid getting sick. If you watch television a lot, some of the adverts for some antiseptic products, be it soap or liquid, is all centered around fighting disease-causing germs. So you're advised to always wash your hands and use some of these products to wash your hands and bathe so it can kill off germs. Now remember when the COVID-19 pandemic happened? In short, we saw a vast majority of individuals who never considered washing their hands a good thing, consistently wash their hands. Now, if the washing hands option did not appeal to them, then they would do something like what? Sanitize. So you kept hearing things like, everybody sanitize, mama, papa sanitize, little children sanitize, sanitize. You go to places, even our offices, we'll have a tap, a running water, we'll have, what's this called now? Liquid soap on standby. So before you came in through any premises, even places of worship, you were encouraged to wash your hands. What's his name again? I think Kobam Sasukwa did a song. I'm trying to remember the title of the song, but wash your hands, love each other. We know. It was a song to encourage people to follow the precautionary measures as advised and recommended by the World Health Organization on in a bid to fight COVID-19. And hey, guess what? Some of these precautionary measures, especially washing hands and keeping clean, became a part of most of us. So you are advised that when you go out and you come in, before you hug anybody in your house, you wash your hands, probably take a shower, and whatever has been expelled in the air, you stand a better chance to wash it off, and fight COVID-19. And then there was lockdown and all that, no hugging, no shaking. Even commercial vehicles will restrict the number of passengers they will carry. But then we returned to normal. And I asked myself, are people still washing their hands regularly? Are people still sanitizing? Are people still showering frequently? Or because things seem like they have returned to normal, to hell with washing of hands and sanitizing. Now, for the adults, it may not seem so much of a big deal, even though sometimes we've had to do business or mingle with people that are not really up there when it comes to their hygiene. We've talked about body odor, we've talked about mouth odor, and sometimes there's a question of how do you tell a full-grown man or a full-grown woman that they need to do something about their hygiene and it doesn't come off as offensive to them. People have been in romantic relationships with partners and they have noticed something like that. And there is, how do I tell this my guy, my lover, my woman or my man, or however you put it, that you see, I don't know that, and we try to find ways to help people be diplomatic about saying such things because you don't want the person to feel bad. Some of you suggested you buy them deodorants as gifts. And if you do that, they will notice, they will get the message, and they will start using. Others say, I will just have to say it to them the way it is. Guy, you are smelling. Or babe, have fun now, go bath. That kind of thing. Now, these are children, and they say charity begins at home, And they also say that when you train up a child in the way he or she should go, when they are old, they will not depart from it. And to a large extent, a very large extent, I must say, you have such great influence on these children, the younger generation that are upcoming, because you are the God that they cannot see. You are their father, you are their mother, you are their provider, you are their caretaker, you are their protector, you are their everything. So if they need to learn something, the chances are that they will learn from you. If you miss it at the home front, you don't expect someone outside to do your job as a parent or as a guardian. So back to what we're talking about, personal hygiene for children. We all need to keep clean to avoid harmful germs and avoid getting sick, right? Good personal hygiene also boosts confidence by dealing with problems like bad breath or body odor. Ever been in a commercial vehicle with some secondary or primary school students and see how unkempt they look and smell? And you wonder, did this child leave their house like this? Did this child dress up and leave for school? Was there an adult in the house when this child? For answers, ranging from specific hygiene practices that are crucial for adolescents during puberty, how parents encourage healthy habits like bathing and hair care in their children, to what are age-appropriate guidelines for introducing deodorant and personal care products to these children. Are there any recommended strategies too for teaching kids and young adults about the importance of overall body hygiene? But today is a Thursday, so let's throw back to our time when we went to school, and that will be what brings about question number 1. During our time, before we left the house for school, there was some level of inspection. In short, when you come back from school, you are inspected. When you leave for school, you are inspected. So, let me see your teeth. Open your tongue, let me see. You did not brush well, oh. You are wasting toothpaste in this house. Go back, go and brush again. Put your hand inside your mouth and brush it well. Bring out your tongue. Scrub your tongue. Ensure they follow you. And then they ensure that you are doing it the right way. Abi? Then when it comes to things like your school uniforms, they ensure that your school uniforms are washed. In short, you come back from school and they say, go and wash your uniforms. And then when there is power, you iron. If there is no power, there's a way we do it. You wash your uniforms. When you want to spread, you do it like this. Fum, 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 fum. And then it looks like it's straight. And then you spread it. And before morning, it's dried. And, everything is now looking sharp. And if you get power, then you iron. And the schools then, they usually would issue 2 pairs of uniforms. Some parents will make arrangements for an additional pair of uniforms. So there's 5 days in the week to go to school. You have to wear your sportswear on a Friday or any day. Some schools will wear their sportswear on a Wednesday or on a Thursday. It depends. And then, a pair of uniform may carry you for 2 days. It depends on how dirty the pairs are. Sometimes some parents do not want their children to repeat the school uniform. So they would say every day you have to change uniforms. Now, there are times when the parents do the laundry because the child cannot do the laundry themselves. And there are times when the child is old enough to start doing the laundry, but the parents ensure that the child indeed did the laundry. And God help you. Tomorrow is Monday and your uniform is not ready. They will beat the hell out of you. So you had Saturday to do the laundry, okay? And Saturday up until Sunday, depending on the weather, your clothes will be dried and they'll be in good condition, your socks and everything. So they do that all-round check. They check your hair. If you need a haircut, you go to the barber shop. They either give you money to go to the barber shop and have your hair cut, or you go to the barber shop yourself. They take you, rather, to the barber shop. You see, all of these things, they check. They check your hair for dandruff and some of those things. They check your hair for ringworm. Okay, and then if they see anything that's inappropriate, they take you to where they will shave all the hair, and then they would apply some things. They do all of this routine check, the mouth, the body. They check, you have started growing hair. Okay, puberty is approaching. Okay, you need to do this. For the ladies, they tell them what to do. For the guys, they tell them what to do. Even in schools, usually during the assembly was a time to check hygiene. Whether you were properly dressed. If you did not wear your school uniform well, the socks and every other thing, go one side. They punish you, or they write a note. Your white is looking dirty. They check all of these things. If your hair is so unkept, they give you what they call free barber. They cut a portion in a place that is not hidden. So when you go home, you are forced to go and barb the entire hair. And all of these things they were doing too. Even in the classrooms, they would teach hygiene. In home economics, yes, they would teach hygiene. They start teaching puberty, signs of puberty, and some of all those things and all of that. And this is 2023. Forgive me for sounding this way or for taking you back in time. But what is really going on? I'm not saying that we didn't have children with poor hygiene back then, but it seemed like parents were more invested in their children's hygiene more at that time than now. Are parents paying attention to the hygiene of their children these days? That's question number one. And if they are, what's happening? Is it that the children are not taking the lessons, or they want to be stubborn, or something else needs to be done about it? You know what I mean? And do schools still do the whole routine hygiene check on students? The other day I overheard someone from the compound that shares the fence with my compound calling the school to tell them that their child was going, the children were going to wear mufti that day. And she was explaining that the school uniforms were not dried. That was why the children were going to wear mufti to school. And the teacher said, all right, no problem. But then I asked myself, are parents now so busy that they do not make proper plans for their children's, well-being and how presentable they look and some of all those things? So let's talk, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0002. Again, 0817 923 0002. And we have 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0003. You can send us a WhatsApp message. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030 6416. Once again, WhatsApp and Telegram number 0809 030 6416. On X, we are at Nigeria Info PH, so feel free to join the conversation on X. And again, our Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. If you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines, you can join the conversation via the other platforms I had announced. And as much as I love it when you do listen, it's also important when you can listen and be a part of the conversation as well. In fact, I look forward to having you join the conversation by either calling or sending in your messages. I have Frederick from Rumaholo. Hi, Frederick. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this great time. I'm happy because actually the problem we're having right now is not that the parents are not actually taking good care of their children, but the issue right now is they are not transferring all their carefulness to the housemates that are keeping with them, leaving their children alone. So they ask the housemates, go and bathe, go and brush, go and do this, go taking care of their housemates, believing that they are now punishing their housemates. Not only that, they are punishing their children. That is why you see most children are home now. If you check the big men children or children from home, you see their teeth, you see whatever they're doing becoming dirty, very lazy, and all the same. It's the parents, the laziness and carelessness of parents on their children. It's not that they are not interested in their children, but they now prefer taking care of the housemaid and instead of their children. So that is the issue. If the parents now can turn their mindset to the children and take care of the children, commanding them, telling them the right thing, they will get it right. In those days, our parents always focus attention on their children, particularly, and that is the issue.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much. But then again, I also, you said something about housemaids. The possibility that some parents relinquish their responsibilities, they just hand it over to the domestic helps. So has he eaten? Has he taken his bath? Has he showered? Did you brush his teeth well? And they do not go to inspect if the maid indeed did what was required. Yes, a couple of times, the maids have been known to raise children these days. They may not be the ones providing for them, but most times they spend more time with these children than some parents. So surprisingly, the parents will even leave the house before the child leaves for school. So the parents probably had no idea how the child was dressed or if the child ate well before leaving the house. The child returns from school, the parent is not back until probably evening. So the only time the parents, comes in contact with the child in school is maybe when something happens in school and the school authorities will call the parents. So how many times do they even see the child in school uniform? And this is beyond how the child even appears to school, to how the child appears to other places, or how the child is presented even while at home. Zion from GRA, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
In our days, it was a pride going to school. And there is a total involvement of parents before you leave the house. They check you if you are fit for that day. And when you get to the school has their own responsibility. But today, how far? Papa and Mama, we get body odor. What do you expect the pikin to get? Papa and Mama, what is account day? What do you expect the pikin to get? If I may ask, do you know that most of us don't even know how to brush our teeth? Especially when it comes to the movement or the direction of the toothbrush. Is it vertically or horizontally? Do we even brush for our children to see how we are brushing? Do we even taught them how to wash their clothes? Where everything they do is in isolation. These are the problem. These whole things started from the home. If you forget, in those days, we were dealing with louse in the ears of people.
Yeah.
Including bed bugs. But today, we manage to deal with this issue when it comes to our sanity, our health. But if you look at it to a large extent, I think these present-day parents have failed their lot. They are not showing example to their kids. Okay, don't be surprised when the kids come back from school. Parents don't even answer don't bath.
That one is another story. That's another thing.
You see now?
That's another thing.
It is something else.
Well, sorry, hold on. I'm sorry to interject. I was reading through a particular novel. It was written by a Nigerian author. And there was something about how some areas are struggling with water supply. And for that reason, because of how hard it gets for them to get water, they kind of minimize how they use water in the house, including how they bathe. You can imagine that people want to bathe and they are sharing water. You have to, with that small water they are giving you, that's what you use to bathe. Anyhow you want to do it, nobody cares. So there are areas like that where they are still struggling with water supply.
See, that this way, My father taught me how to bath with this thing we call custard bucket.
The 4 liters. That 4 liters
Exactly.
custard. Okay.
Exactly. To bath with it. And I do successfully. How to wash and how to clean. Successfully. How many parents can do that today? And also, the way we build our houses is another problem. Most houses are so short and full of heat in the night. So people sleep with heat, wake up with heat to get the water to bath is a problem. They come out without brushing, without getting their bath. What do you expect after, especially this age of puberty? That is where all these problems start. This puberty age. So I think we still need to bring back home economics and every other aspect of the subject, even from the church, on how to take care of our health.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Zion. 2 questions. Are parents paying attention to the hygiene of their children these days, and they'll be all right? The schools still do the routine hygiene check on the students. You know how it used to be. A lot of us, sometimes back then, we skip assembly. You know that morning assembly? So you come early, you meet assembly, or if you're late, you join the assembly. We intentionally would skip assembly then when we knew that day we're not looking our best. Because they will check everything. They will check your hairs, then they will check your uniform. If it is dirty, go inside. Then they will check your school shoes or school sandals. They'll check if you wore your socks, the color of the socks, and all of those things. The ones that were okay will go in. Then the ones that were looking funny, they were going to be advised, you know. Sometimes if the particular child needed some form of hygiene intervention, the school management knew how to do it. At least I can speak for my school. They will call the parents, say, what is going on? Your child is always, is it that, what's the problem? Or if they see that it is a problem from the child, they will flog you. So tomorrow, when your parents see you washing their uniform, your parents that know that you don't like to wash your uniforms, you understand? Well, see, this way you're washing your uniform today. What's the say? My auntie flogged me, My auntie flogged me that my uniform is dirty. Say, hey, good for you. Serves you right. Shebi every time we'll be telling you wash your clothes, wash your uniform. You will not hear. You will wear this thing for 10 days. You will do like this. Very good. When I see that your teacher, I will shake the teacher's hand like this, ganga. Or they say, go and cut your hair. You refuse. You carry half road to school. By the time they give you free barber style, you come back. You're the one that will now ask your parents, Mommy, give me money. Let me go and barb my head. Sure, there was this kind of, if I tell you, you don't listen, I am sure that when you get to school, they will speak to you in the language that you will understand. Muriel from Okrika, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Hi, DDW. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Muriel. How you doing?
I'm fine. It's your Africa woman on the sunny side.
You're
Denise.
welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, Denise, I think nothing has changed, honestly.
Okay.
I think those days we have parents that are careful and those that are careless, and we have the same now. We have mothers those days that are working class, that goes to work. We have mothers that go to the market to sell. They leave house in the morning and they come back in the evening or almost night. And we have mothers that sell just in the front of their houses. Some that are opportune to sell in their building. And we have those that go out to all do their hustling, Denise. And it's the same thing, Denise. If you have a woman that goes out every day, let's say a mother that goes out to sell in the market, and she comes back in the night, what do you expect, Denise? We know that there are some, too, that will be very inquisitive. They want to know and they want to check. And there will also be some that will be careless. They are just tired. They will ask one or two and they are off to bed because they have to leave early again. Denise, it's just the same routine. Just like fashion. In the old, those fashion that they did in the old, still coming back again, is the same thing. I think nothing has changed. Denise, if you want to know the impact of these children hygiene, enter a government secondary school where there is a very big crowd. And then the students have gone out, they've come back after break. Sun is shining like this, Denise, and you burst into the class. Oh my God, Denise. you will see the smell that oozes out. Ask any government school teacher that teaches in the urban area like this. The smell that comes out, especially from both the boys and the girls, from the privates down and armpits. Oh my God! That's when you know that teachers are trying, and you still have to teach. More than 100 students in the class, close to 100 students in the class, and you still have to teach 1 or 2 windows. So Denise, I think parents just need to be careful, absolutely, because you see this thing they call mouth odor and the likes. When it starts, before it will go, you have to go to, except maybe there are other local means, you have to visit the doctor, the dentist, you have to struggle, especially when the serious one from the throat down.
How many adults visit the dentist? How much more taking their children to the dentist?
That's what I say. If you don't take care of it at the early stage, when it comes, so take care of it will be so difficult. That's why you see some people have permanent mouth odor. And no matter what, it doesn't go. They use mouthwashers. They use them. Some people are just resort to taking chewing gum every day. So at least they can be able to communicate. So parents just need to be careful, honestly, because when these orders, they come, it's very difficult to leave these children.
All right. Thank you, Muriel. We go on a commercial break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Remember, we're still talking personal hygiene for children. We're still the sunny side, and this is Nigeria Info. Hope says that's one no day again, no. Let's discuss your questions. Are parents paying attention to the hygiene of their children? While every parent has their own approach, many are indeed paying attention to the hygiene of their children. Parents typically teach their kids the importance of personal hygiene from a young age and encourage them to develop healthy habits such as washing hands regularly, brushing teeth, and bathing regularly. However, certain factors like busy schedules or lack of awareness can sometimes impact parents' level of attention to their children's hygiene. Do schools still do routine hygiene checks on the students? Routine hygiene checks in schools can vary depending on the school's policies and practices. Some schools may conduct periodic checks to ensure students are maintaining proper hygiene, while others may not have such procedures in place. However, it's important to note that personal hygiene education is commonly included in health or physical education curricula, where students are taught the importance of cleanliness and how to maintain good hygiene practices. Overall, personal hygiene should be a joint effort between parents and schools to ensure children understand and practice good hygiene habits for their well-being. Interesting. This message reads, while growing up, teachers in schools ensure that children do not come to school without cutting their fingernails or hairs. Those days, we lined up and spread our fingers for teachers to check how clean they are. Kai! And God help you. Sorry, I just remembered. God help you. You know where they used to use the cane on? Your fingers. If it was your toes, they will use the cane on your toes. If it was your fingers, they will use the cane. So they say, set your hand. And that is when you see a lot of students, they will now start biting it. Especially if you were at the back. So that before it will get to your turn, it will now look clean. But some teachers were really wise. Because they will know the one that the person just, beat off now. And you will still receive the full punishment. I just remember that was quite nostalgic. Well, back to your message. Those days we lined up and spread our fingers for teachers to check how clean they are. They also check our panties, feet, teeth, clothes, and send home the dirty pupils. But those things do not happen again in schools as they focused more on the academics. Good old days, were they? Good afternoon, presenter. I am a teacher in a public secondary school in Bayelsa State. Most parents and guardians have failed regarding the hygiene of their children. Most students don't even brush before coming to school. When you take the corrections too far, students and parents will say you are a wicked teacher.
Set your time on Nigeria Info, the correct